People see me and think I'm weak. They want to take care of me. But I can take care of myself by myself.
You sound like my nephew. Always thinking you need to do things on your own without anyone's support. There is nothing wrong with letting people who love you help you.
What are some questions you think I should ask myself?
If money and status were no object, what would I do? If I was less afraid of other people's opinions, what would I say? What actually makes me happy? Does success make me happy? What is my definition of success? What is my definition of success if money was taken out of the equation? What is my definition of success if money and followers were taken out of the equation? What are the things that I'm hiding from myself? What are the emotions that I'm unprepared to feel? What are the things that I feel the most shame and guilt around?
If you're doing good, they got something to say. If you're doing bad, they got something to say. So do what makes you happy. Because you see this jet, you see this private jet that we own? I got it because I did what the fuck I wanted to do. I made over $1 billion, you know why? Because I did what the fuck I wanted to do. I'm gonna always tell Tank, do what the fuck you wanna do.
It don't matter how much it feel like it ain't gonna work.
Delusional.
Complete delusion. You gotta believe the delusion. Because it's only delusional until it works. So is it really delusional? A motherfucker only gonna call it delusion until it don't work for nobody else to see, but for the whole world to see. And then once the world see it, there's nothing delusional about it. Now, your delusion becomes, oh, he was a fucking genius. We didn't see it when he saw it. We didn't understand it when he did. We thought this motherfucker was crazy. But he definitely always figured this thing was the thing to do, and he stuck by that shit.
Most people will not understand your obsession, your drive, and your determination. Success is a lonely journey. That's just a reality. And most people are not gonna understand why you're so driven, why you're so obsessed. And if you try and make them understand, you're gonna end up frustrated. The best advice I can tell you is go on the journey by yourself. It is the best journey, man. Leveling up, making more money, losing weight, getting fit, becoming the best version of yourself is the fucking most awesomest journey you will ever go on. But it's a journey that you will probably go on by yourself. Most people will not understand the level of obsession required. They will not understand the level of drive and determination that it takes for you to become that person.
If you haven't gotten what you want, then you're not worthy of it, period. And that's okay. Now you can admit that you suck and improve. Better to know you're bad for a season than pretend you're good for a lifetime. You're not making as much money as you want because you're not as good as you think you are. You're not struggling from imposter syndrome. You're a student and pretending to be a teacher. No students say they feel like frauds for trying to learn. You're a fraud when you get up to teach the class, and you've never done it.
Something in you has to wake up. And usually the only person that can wake it up is you. Sometimes you can read a David Goggins book because I was all this shit and then a lot more of fucked up. But if you don't have a little flame, just barely, you're done. I can't light it for you. And that's the harsh reality of this life that I want to get across so fucking bad. You can watch me, you can watch you, you can watch fucking Rogan and Cameron Haynes, all these motherfuckers. You can go to 20.
Be the now of what you want to be later. It starts right now. And if you're not doing the now, don't ever expect the later to be the person you want to look in the mirror. Everyone's like, oh, later in life, I want to do this. Later in life, I want to do that. Later in life is turning around, looking in the mirror right now. That's the later in life. And unless that turnaround is something in progression, later in life ain't gonna be anything different.
Here's the deal. 5 years from now, you can be who you would like to be, and you can have what you need within the bounds of reason, if you specify it. So if you could be who you would like to be, and if you could have what you think you need, in principle, what would that look like? Well, you start to specify targets. So we say, well, write it down for 15 minutes. Don't get too self-critical. Just think, we ask questions. Who do you admire and why? What do you think you need and why?
I think a man needs to be on his purpose first, too.
Exactly.
And you got to be on your mission. Your mission got to be first, and your purpose got to be first. You know what I'm saying? And you can't put anything in front of your mission and your purpose. Because if you put your mission and your purpose first, you'll be able to take care of your family.
You can move through life at 7 times the rate of other people by simply changing when you say you're going to make a decision from end of week to end of day. So think about how that stacks up. So it's like, let's say that there were 4 decisions that you needed to make. If the normal person takes a week to make the decision, and then their mind moves on to the next thing that they have anxiety for and start making that decision and decide another week, decide another week, decide another week. It's a month to make those 4 decisions. Whereas the Superman that takes one decision day 1, second decision day 2, third decision day 3, fourth decision day 4, they aren't even finished the week yet, and they're where the other person is at the end of the month. And like that speed of decision making, like not paying the attention cost, the opportunity cost of your time, I think it's really profound in terms of how quickly people move through life.
Nobody is perfect. People are going to tell you you're perfect just the way you are. You're not. You are imperfect. You always will be. But there is a powerful force that designed you that way. And if you're willing to accept that, you will have grace. And grace is a gift. And like the freedom that we enjoy in this country, that grace was paid for with somebody else's blood. Do not forget it.
I tell young men, it's like, find something difficult to do. You need that. You're not built for comfort or pleasure. Like if that comes along, good. You know, if you have a day where you're comfortable and there's some things around you that give pleasure, have some sense and enjoy it. But don't be thinking that's what your life is aimed at. That's contemptible. Everyone knows that. Everyone knows that. And if they orient themselves in that hedonistic direction, there's nothing in it but shame.
Man, you gonna get what's coming to you. You gonna get what's for you, man. You don't have to want what anybody else has. Right. You don't have to envy it, be mad about it, wish for it. What God got for you, you gonna get it. Now, you might can prolong it, trying to orchestrate and control the situation and the narrative on your own. But I feel as if what's destined for me, the Creator gonna give it to me. But rejection may be a part of that.
Everything you going through is God preparing you for where He taking you. So now I had to develop this alligator skin. When you get out in the front, man, you get a lot of haters. And I say this to all my dudes, man, when I'm talking to them. You gotta understand something about a hater. You've never had a hater that's doing better than you. Think of all your haters. Ain't none of your haters doing better than you. So now what's the purpose now? So you gotta understand now what it is. The haters is to throw you off track and distract you. And you gotta distract me because you see where I'm headed. But regardless of all the distractions, like say, I know how to get up. I'm gonna get up because it ain't about you. Haters are not decision makers, power brokers, or shakers and movers. Right. They just haters, man.
Until you win, effort always goes unnoticed. Get used to it. No one roots for you until everyone roots for you. That's just how it works.
You need to love pain to be an athlete. And I know, no pain, no this, whatever, all the, oh my, no, this is real. You need to love pain. However, mentally, physically, love it. You need to love it. If not, stay where you are.
A lot of people may consider things toxic when they initially start out, but then when you see the end result, or when your career's over with, or when you're with a different organization, you look at it and say, you know what, I really missed that. I give an example of flowers. When you gift roses, or you're gifted roses, or any types of flowers, they cut the thorns off because the thorns, are prickly and so forth. Well, when you cut the thorns off a rose, you decrease its lifespan. So a lot of individuals that have been thorns in your life have actually allowed you to propel to places that you would never be able to propel before. And you don't miss it until that thorn is no longer there.
There's nobody coming. There's nobody coming to save you. There's nobody coming to help you. A knight in shining armor isn't gonna ride in and save you. You are the only one that's going to be able to save you.
If you think differently than your immediate family or your friends or whatever your hometown is, one, you probably don't want to be normal. Because if you take what normal means and put it across all aspects of life, it means that you're going to die at 74, you're probably going to be overweight, you're going to, be divorced, you're going to not really achieve anything that you want. Like, that's normal. And so it makes sense that you would be the odd man out because most people live that life. And so like, that was something that gave me a lot of permission to like be me, which was not normal in a lot of, and that's okay. Because I mean, like ordinary versus extraordinary means that you are not.
You have that potential. It's just you're not putting the effort into it. You are lazy. You want to fit into the group. You want to conform because it's easy. But your oddness, what makes you weird, what makes you different, that little strange quirk in how you want to dress yourself, that little strange quirk in your musical tastes, that little quirk in the food that you like to eat, that is who you are. Those are signs from deep within, from your core, or from your soul. This is who you are. And if you lose that, not only are you not going to be successful in life, you will also lose yourself, and you will be you'll be unhappy, you'll be unfulfilled, you'll be alienated from who you are. And you can get away with that when you're young because you're happy, you look good. You need a bit of courage in life. You need to go, okay, I am weird, I am strange. You know, lean into it.
You got to want it first. Then you got to work it. Then you have the opportunity to win it. But it all starts with your want. You got to want this. I can't want this for you. You got to want this like no other. Then the work has to happen. And see, the work and the want got to add up together to want each other. Then that puts you in a position to win. Ain't nobody giving you no W. You got to go take that thing, man.
If they don't have what you want, don't listen to what they say. There's no greater waste of time than justifying your actions to people who have a life you don't want.
I was always taught that it ain't ever over. As long as you waking up, it ain't over. I don't care what you do to me. I don't care what you say to me. I don't care what happens to me. If God wake me up tomorrow morning, that's another shot.
Yep.
And that mean it ain't over for me. And I just recover, man. I used to question God with a lot of his decisions with me. Like, why is my life like this? I didn't do that. Why you letting these people talk about me? Look, I saw something online that said, I used to ask God all the time, why you taking me through all these deep troubled waters? And the answer was, because your enemies can't swim.
I had big dreams. A lot of us have big dreams, big goals. And when you have goals that are maybe outside your reach, you have to know that getting to that goal, you're gonna have a lot of bad days. So I had to teach myself how to fail right. And what that means is, when I fail, I can't spend much time in that fail zone. I have to be able to get up and get after the next day just as fast. I don't have time to stay here and feel bad for myself for weeks and months and years, because I'll lose that time.
It's like when Kobe said, I was chasing perfection and excellence, even though I knew I would probably never catch it. But just the fact that I was willing to chase it, I would defeat most of my opponents, because most of my opponents would never chase something that didn't have any guarantees attached to it. Chasing perfection and excellence, even though I knew I would never catch it. But he had the courage to chase it because he knew what it would turn him into. And most cats wouldn't even go down the course to chase it because it didn't have any guarantees attached to it.
Almost all the meaning that you will need to get you through the hard times of your life is going to be a consequence of adopting responsibility, not of rights and impulsive action, impulsive freedom. Like, fine, rights, yeah, got it. Freedom, no problem. Even freedom to do impulsive things, fine. But that isn't where you're going to find the meaning that keeps you sustained through the storms of life. That's going to be, you take care of yourself, you take care of your intimate partner, you take care of your damn family. You don't run off. You take care of your community. You rescue the wisdom from the past. You stand up straight and you be courageous despite the fact that life is tragic and tainted by malevolence.
If you have one good day where you eat clean, you drink a lot of water, and you, like you did, you got that day, you woke up, you put your shoes on, you went for a run, you worked out your driveway, you got a good day in.
Yep.
That's sometimes all you need to do and decide, this is what I do from now on. I have good days.
Yeah.
Tomorrow's going to be another good day, and then I'm going to force myself into another good day. And the next thing you know, I've got some momentum.
Right.
You got some momentum, you could change everything.
Yep.
I've felt, many times in my life, I've felt like I could slip the wrong way, and I see it. I see the dark hole, and I go, fuck that, and just go the other way. The problem is when people fall into that dark hole, they think that defines them, but it doesn't.
Right.
It doesn't define you. It's just you right now. You could be totally different tomorrow. You're a human being. You can think, you can adjust.
One of my favorite things from Marcus Aurelius is the whole universe is change, and life itself is but what we deem it.
Mm-hmm.
Life itself is but what we deem it. The 8 most profound words in all of philosophy.
Mm-hmm.
What he means is that things are going to happen. You are going to have experiences in life. Almost all of the important impacts of how those experiences change you are going to be the story that you tell yourself about what that experience means.
I know I'm going to do it. That's the haunting part, is that it's going to happen. It has to happen. And that's a fact. There's no get out of jail free card, bro. None. Like, that is a life that I don't know. I don't have that. I'm not good enough, smart enough. I'm not talented enough to do that. Some people are. Some people can start at 1. Some people don't have to start at all. If you lack talent, you can't sit back and say, I'll start in half an hour. I can't do that. I gotta start now. And after I get back from starting, I gotta start again. And when I get done with that run or that study session, if it wasn't good enough, I gotta go back again.
How are you living? Are you the best physical shape that you can be? Are you the best mental shape that you can be? How's your finances? What'd you do today? Did you do what you're supposed to do? Or did you f*** off another day and put your dreams off until tomorrow? And then tomorrow you're gonna do the same thing. And then the next day you're gonna do the same thing. And eventually you're gonna run out of time and you're gonna say, oh shit, that was my life.